There's a chance that the James Webb Space Telescope is the best thing that people have ever done. So far, this amazing space telescope wasn't finished and launched into space until late 2021. It wasn't built or planned until the late 1990s, and it wasn't finished until 2021 either. The enormous telescope is currently located 1 million kilometers beyond the orbit of Earth, where it is collecting data using its light collection technology. This technology is made up of 18 hexagonal mirrors made of gold-plated beryllium. They cover an area of 25 square meters. The goal is to give scientists the tools they need to learn about the history of the universe and to look at planets and stars that were too far away for people to see before. Now that some of the new 9 photos are out in the open, the results are really amazing. Number 9. Planetary Nebula NGC 3132. One of the most well-known nebulas in the universe is the Planetary Nebula NGC 3132, which is also called the Southern Ring Nebula. It is in the sky in the shape of Orion. It is about 2,500 light-years away from Earth and is interesting because the ring that can be seen is caused by dust and gas being thrown off by a dying star. It's in the middle of the picture. The James Webb Telescope took a picture of this nebula with a level of fine detail that has never been seen before. As a point of reference, here is a picture of the same area as seen by Hubble in 1998. Number 8. Twin dying stars. In the middle of the Southern Ring Nebula, there are not one but 2 stars. NASA was able to get a better look at the second star with the help of the James Webb Telescope. This is because it has such powerful infrared equipment. Scientists will be able to learn more about the last stages of a star's life and how its death affects the space around it by looking at the 2 stars as they near the end of their lives. NASA says that these nebulae have been around for tens of millions of years. This means that studying them can teach us a lot of useful things. Number 7. Carina Nebula. The James Webb Telescope took this picture of the Carina Nebula. It is one of the most beautiful pictures it has ever taken. This picture was taken by the JWST using infrared light. It shows a part of space called NGC 3324, which Hubble has been able to see before. This nebula can now be seen in a lot more detail, and the JWST's hardware lets it show things that can't be seen in photographs that are usually taken in visible light. The colors and shapes you see here are caused by gas and dust clouds and a lot of constant radiation in the area. The height of the mountains is said to be 7 light-years. The James Webb Telescope can see things that aren't in its line of sight because of gases, giving people access to a much larger amount of information about the area and how it has changed over time. Number 6. Stephan's Quintet. In 1877, Edward Stephan was the first person to find what is now called Stephan's Quintet. This is a group of 5 galaxies. But thanks to improvements in technology, we can now see a lot more of space and nearby bodies that look like this one. At the time, this was the first group of galaxies to be found close together. Now, more than 200 years after Stephan's Quintet was first seen, we can see the area in more light and with more clarity than we could before. This picture is especially impressive because it was made by blending together nearly 150 million individual pixels from 1,000 different pictures. With the technology of the James Webb Telescope, NASA can now see details in the area that it couldn't see before. There are also starburst zones and millions of new stars in these details. Scientists can use this to learn more about how galaxies change over time and how they affect each other. Number 5. Telescope alignment. Even though the most recent pictures are more interesting, we still like to look at this one, which was taken while the telescope was being set up. Before it could be used, the James Webb Telescope had to get more than 1 million miles away from Earth. After that, it took 6 months for the mirrors to be unfolded, the equipment to be calibrated, and the telescope to be put in the right place. JWST has come a long way in setting up and testing its imaging capabilities, and this picture shows one of those big steps forward. the first part of what we think will be a long-term, if not decades-long, study of the universe by the Space Telescope. Number 4. The deepest image. This amazing picture shows the clearest and most detailed infrared picture ever taken of the faraway universe. It was taken by the James Webb Space Telescope's near-infrared camera, and it is made up of photos taken at different wavelengths. A long preview that is mostly meant to get people excited about what's to come. This fascinating picture is of the galaxy cluster SMACS 0723. It shows the area of space as it was more than 4.6 billion years ago. In practice, this means that the JWST will look both into space and time. Number 3. Quintet Infrared. This is another view of Stephan's quintet. It was taken by the MIRI instrument on the Space Telescope, along with MIRI filters and processing that help to show the differences between the galaxies. The color red shows dusty areas where stars are being made, while the color blue shows star clusters and single stars. Green and yellow are used to show galaxies that are further away. Number 2. Spiral Galaxy NGC 628. This picture of the nebula called NGC 628 was made by Gabriel Brammer, who was an associate professor at the Cosmic Dawn Center in the Niels Bohr Institute at the University of Copenhagen. The mid-infrared instrument team of the Space Telescope made this image of the spiral galaxy NGC 628 by putting together 3 sets of data taken at different wavelengths. In his explanation, Brammer said, "If our eyes could see in these mid-infrared wavelengths, the night sky would look a lot more like this picture, which I think would be stunning and maybe even a little scary." Number 1. The Glass Z13, the oldest one that scientists have ever seen. From the time it was first sent into space, the James Webb Telescope has made a lot of firsts in science. Thanks to JWST, the team was able to look at what they think is the oldest galaxy ever seen. It is called Glass Z13, and scientists think it formed about 300 million years after the Big Bang. In 2016, Hubble found a galaxy that was thought to be 300 million years old after the Big Bang. This was the previous record for how old a galaxy was. Thank you so much for watching this video.